homeschool mamas. Welcome back to part 2 of tips and tricks for how to help homeschool your children who may have ADHD. You may also have ADHD, so these tips and tricks could possibly just make your day better as well as your children. If you missed number 1 in the series, please go back and watch that. And disclaimer, just like from my first video, these tips and tricks work for my family. That doesn't mean that they'll work for yours, and that's okay. If you want to give them a try to see if they work, fantastic. But if they don't work for you, that's okay too. If you want to see the rest of my series as well as other things that I have coming, make sure that you tap that plus sign so that you can follow me. You like the video, you can comment, I'll talk to you, save it, share it, copy the link, repost it, all the things. I appreciate you being here and appreciate your support. So hop into part 2 of tips and tricks for homeschooling boys with ADHD. Tip number 3.
I found this on the web.
Didn't ask you. Number 3 is let them bounce around. Let them fidget, let them stand when they're doing their schoolwork. My boys would rather stand while they do their schoolwork and while they eat than they would to sit down. And they're not even doing anything except for standing sometimes. And that's okay. Just let them do it. I promise you, they're going to concentrate and get that work done better than if you force them to sit down and then be still. My boys can't do it. They could, but why make them? We're still 10 and 8. We're still boys with a lot of energy. I don't want to contain that fully just yet. They will learn as they grow to contain that energy that needs to bust out and when to let it out. But right now, I'm saying it's time to do schoolwork. Their bodies aren't saying it's time for a break. So if they need to stand, they need to bounce around. If they need to play with a fidget toy while we're doing schoolwork, I'm going to let them, because most of the time, when they're fidgeting or standing, they're paying more attention than if they're being still. Number 4, don't be afraid to mix up your days. It's perfectly fine if you see that today we need to do school outside by playing, not in my bookwork. That's perfectly fine. Or we need to take the bookwork outside, and if it's asking me what is 4 plus 4, we're going to jump it out and figure it out. We're going to jump around while we figure out what are 4 jumps plus 4 big steps. What does that equal? It's okay to do that. It's perfectly fine. It's your homeschool day. You can make it work. If that's what's easiest for your ADHD kid, then go for it. Because I promise you, they're going to remember and they're going to thank you for it later. But those are the 2 tips for this video. Come back. I've got 1 more for you, so do not miss out on that. Again, do all the things over here. Make sure you're following me so that you can stay up to date with all things homeschool, homesteading, and camper life.